On Western Airlines. But I just joined this company. This company is, it's called ITOS IO, okay? And this is a Shanghai Extramalto GM of the IoT division that hired me to help him with global business. I just joined this month and I've been coming up to speed on DingTalk, which is like WeChat, and WeChat too. And what they do is they supply an SDK, software development kit, right? An SDK, which is software, gets embedded into, kind of like this picture, it gets embedded into hardware, okay? So it's an SDK, a blockchain of AI things. So what does BoAT? What does BoAT mean? BoAT simply means blockchain of artificial intelligent things. What does AI mean? AI means Internet of Things. Well, you just use the same term. It's everything's using the internet, okay? So it's artificial intelligence of things. In the future, every single device will add AI, and the AI will be using big data, right? It'll be using AI to analyze how the data is being processed. And you might say, well, I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, because if it's going to connect to the internet, it needs something called an IoT module. Your car has an IoT module. Your phones have a mobile apps processor chip, so they don't need an IoT module. But there are many devices that use an IoT module. So the IoT module is actually very, very important. The IoT module vendors, they've added the AI already into their modules. Okay. We take that AI and the IoT, we add the blockchain to it. That's what we do with our SDK. We're adding the blockchain, because it's still very new. Adding the blockchain to cellular IoT modules, it's a new concept. That's what we are doing. We add the blockchain to cellular modules. And we're using 3 very important disruptive technologies in the world today. We're using the blockchain. We're using cellular IoT modules. We don't make the modules, but our technology goes into the modules. And we access the blockchain, but we also are using artificial intelligence because the module has the artificial intelligence, which is collecting data, which we now call big data. Clear, right? Clear as mud? Okay. Let me go on. Next. So BoAT, the future of navigating IoT with the blockchain for security and attestation, which just means attesting that something is real. Because there's too much fake data in the world. I'm not fake, I'm real. 100%. Italian, Irish American from Boston. All right. So look at the technologies here. The internet. The reason I told the CEO of the company, you need to have a picture of a boat or a sailboat there, because we're navigating. We're technology navigators, right? We're technology navigators. We're using blockchain, the Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence, all 3 of these technologies, in order to navigate blockchain for these IoT modules. That's it. Next. So, blockchain, cellular IoT modules, 防握模块 in Chinese, right? And artificial intelligence. My company combines 3 disruptive and growing technologies influencing the world today to ensure a more secure future for trusted computing. The term trusted computing, the TE. Now it comes back, right? Because it's on hardware. Even IoT modules are using the TE. You see how important what you learned tonight? You're going to have nightmares. Oh my God, this guy Karl is talking about the TE. You're going to have nightmares tonight about the TE. The TE is nothing but a very cool, secure technology used in hardware. And well, you need IoT. You need in IoT, you're protecting 5G, autonomous vehicles, Industry 4.0, and robots, right? This is the IoT world that you will be involved in or somehow influenced by. The next car you buy will probably have an IoT module for 4G connectivity, right? And it'll probably have some kind of hub in the car to manage your connectivity. Hell, your car may even be able to talk to another car as it's driving down the road, right? If you've got a high-end car. Blockchain, distributed ledger, apps, and tokens, that's what the blockchain provides, right? And also attestation and security. And of course AI, which is what? Machine learning, big data, and data science and big data. AI simply takes all the data that people have been collecting, right? This comes back to privacy. They've been taking all the data, they've been conglomerating it, and they call it big data. Because AI is able to take the right data and conglomerate it. The real question is, what the hell are they doing with that data? What are they doing with that data? We want our sovereign digital privacy, identity, and security when AI is used to collect the data. AI just collects the data and analyzes the data.
And who stores that?
Well, in this case, it's stored in IoT modules by the various hardware vendors that buy the IoT modules, who do what? They design it, they embed it into a device, and then it's sold to a service provider, an operator, a car company, right? That's the flow. So along the way, you want to make sure that you have checks and balances so that the security is assured in each case, and nobody's manipulating or causing mischief with the data. That's what you want all along the way. So when you can be sure that the technology is being protected in the device, software embedded into hardware, when you can assure that, then you can at least stop abuse of the data in many ways. You can stop the abuse of data. Like for example, if Visa were cracked, if your Visa card were cracked or your Apple Pay were cracked, how many people would really want to use it? It's really important that they can make sure that nobody can crack their Apple Pay data. Apple Pay has never been cracked because they have really good protection in technology in these devices when they're doing a payment. You want the same kind of activity with all of the technology you use. You want to be assured that the technology is not going to be stolen. But if you have a crypto wallet and you're storing cryptocurrency on an Android smartphone, you don't have any security. It's being stolen. There's a guy who stored lots of money and he had a SIM swapping attack. He's suing. There are two companies, the two operators in America being sued now. I don't want to name the names because we're public. There are two companies being sued for SIM swapping attacks. Two companies, actually, because people want to get those private keys. And so your cryptocurrency is really just, that you have in cryptocurrency you've got a public and private key pair. The public key is giving out to know, you can give that out so people know you've got the currency. The private key you don't give out unless you're actually selling it. So you've got a public-private key pair. You want to secure the private key with tamper-resistant hardware. That's what you want to do. Okay? So blockchain, AI, and IoT are all technology disruptions. Blockchain promotes decentralized apps in an open data environment. It's all open. Nobody owns the blockchain. Nobody. AI provides the intelligence through a decentralized data analytical platform, analyzing, collecting the data, and the IoT enables the device to be connected via a centralized cloud to process. So the IoT module is really like a robot. Your IoT module is like a robot with a cell phone. The robot is nothing unless he can communicate. And how does he communicate? Let's not use a robot. I'm a machine. I'm sitting on the top of Mount Rainier. I'm doing my job, but nobody knows who I am. But I have a cell phone, or I have an IoT module, and I can communicate with the rest of the world and do all kinds of fantastic, cool things with my machine. I'm a robot, but you don't know where I am until I can communicate through the internet, and I can send all kinds of great data, like when it's going to snow and things like that. So it's really an IoT module that becomes the robot and is able to do all kinds of great things or maybe malicious things too. I try and use that analogy to explain to you how important the IoT module is. It is like the central hub, or it's the central importance of any Internet of Thing. Anything that wants to use the internet and wirelessly connect, it needs a module, a connectivity module. Okay, next. So at our company, at Aptos, our goal is data privacy. So the reason why I'm telling you all these things is because these IoT modules aren't safe or secure either. That's why that's why we're providing the SDK. We're providing the additional security of these IoT modules, right? We're providing the additional security of these IoT modules using the trusted execution environment and the blockchain. Because once it's in the blockchain, it has cryptography, and you really can't change like a smart contract that's written unless you go out and modify it. So it's really about data privacy, protection inside IoT devices, device equipment, and along with trusted ID, authentication to prevent data breaches from the source. So it really is, it's privacy and security and identity, but it's not of you, it's of devices. What is the IoT? Internet of Things. You're not a thing, you're a human being. You use this to communicate normally. Machines use IoT modules, you see? So our SDK is regarding your IoT device wallet. And we think that machines are also wallets. One day, your car will be able, you'll just push a button, you'll be able to pay for the toll going over the bridge. Just push a button, you'll be able to pay for a toll. You don't have to you switch the thing that's out, you put it on the dash. Come on, that's dinosaur technology, comparatively speaking. When your car with the IoT module can actually make a payment with your credit card. Your car is a payment mechanism. Your car will be a payment mechanism, okay? And so that's what we're doing. We're providing this device wallet with AI and blockchain, and it is a wallet. We say this to the blockchain people, that it is a wallet. It's essentially a wallet. And it uses signatures on the blockchain to provide tamper-resistant security. All sensitive data and personal information will be physically protected in kernel via the TE trust zone inside the IoT terminal and chip-level design modules. So it is about security using the blockchain to continue to attestate the data. Everything is about data. Remember, data is the new oil. It's the new oil.
So you're saying you want your phone to be your wallet?
Oh, your phone is your wallet. I'm saying you want machines will be the new wallet, actually. Your car will be the new wallet. It will pay for things. It is going to happen, especially for autonomous vehicles. Think about 5 years from now, you want to go to SeaTac Airport, you might not call Uber or Lyft. Maybe those industries have already disappeared, but you have an autonomous vehicle. There's nobody in the car, and you enter, and you have to push your credit card, push the destination.
Wouldn't you need government protection for that type of security?
Oh, yes, but that's why you have IoT modules embedded into automobiles now, and they are using security, and they're also using embedded SIM. See the term embedded SIM? Remember we had that discussion very early on? All these IoT modules would have high level of security if they use an embedded SIM, but very few are using embedded SIM right now. They need to. They will. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's going to happen because I'm around. It's going to happen. All right, so next, we're almost at the end. This is a short one. Internet of Things devices are regarded as intelligent robots. That's what I kind of explained to you. And the cellular wireless module is the mobile phone that intelligent robots use to surf the internet. I know that's a very strange analogy, but it's a device, and the device uses a module in order to access the internet. It's not a human being, it's a robot, it's a device. It's a device. We will scale deployment of IoT wallet with our SDK embedded into the modules. So let's look at some facts. Cellular module business for 3G, 4G, and 5G has been around for 20 years. This technology is not new. When I was in analog business, when I was working in the analog wireless world, not even digital cellular, these technologies were around. They weren't digital, but they were around. There are 300 million modules added to the world in 300 million added to devices, not people, not smartphones, not tablets, but to additional devices. 300 million in 2019. Where did they go? They're in all these cool devices that are coming. The top 10 manufacturers account for 90% of the market share. And these top 10 manufacturers are right here. I know you can't quite see it. We have partnered with 2 Chinese top 10 IoT module manufacturers. One is called Fibercom, the other one is called QuickTel, and they have major shares. and there's 7 other ones. So our SDK is already in their cellular modules, depending on the type module we use, and we're working with 7 others. My job is to expand that outside of China to the other IoT module vendors, mobile network operators, and et cetera, et cetera.
I've never heard of them. Do you know if they do business with other companies, just license the technology?
They're huge. They're huge. They are huge.
I've never heard.
QuickTel, and final comment. Next slide. Now, AIOTOS positions our SDK, our BoAT SDK, to enter the IoT, artificial intelligence of things, to guard data assets. Our goal is guarding data assets. Using the blockchain, using the TE, it's all about securing your data, protecting your data. And IoT FinTech powered by BoAT. So our capabilities are blockchain access with Platon, which is our partner in China for the blockchain, and the devices are secure key generation and usage. Now we're using 2 cool technologies in order to do that, to access the FinTech. And this is just a photo of our SDK. It's really software that's embedded in here. But the key is that BoAT for Trusted Applications Framework, trusted device identification and personalization, privacy, preservation for digital. There are 2 technologies that we're using. This is really, this cryptography is really the blockchain. This is another word for the blockchain. We're using cryptography in the blockchain, and we're using the trusted execution environment, which I told you is a security operating system in the chip, right? We're using these 2 technologies. Some nomenclature, AIOTOS SDK includes AI, IoT with blockchain. So, next. Now this is 2 more slides. These are kind of important. So, in your IoT device, your robot, you've got your IoT device here. This is your real-time operating system, your so-called Android operating system. This is your real-time operating system. It has, but it's not really Android for machines and devices. It might be something else, but it could be Android. But there's a mobile control unit, a mobile processor, and with that, that's where our BoAT resides in the operating system. But we get access to the TE. See, so we access the TE inside the IoT device to protect the data and send the data through a platform node in Platon, which is a Shanghai company. We send the data and we protect it 2 ways. We call this threshold sign service. It's just like the dual roots of trust. We're partitioning the keys. Very cool.
So for example, if I buy a phone that's manufactured...
This has nothing to do with phones. This has nothing to do with phones.
If I buy a phone that has the technology that's manufactured in, let's say, Fiji, and just an example, and it's a secure phone, so you're saying that I will be receiving security from Fiji to protect my phone, my data?
No, more than likely it will be a centralized cloud server somewhere around the world by cloud service providers, Amazon, Microsoft, Google. The service needs to be provided by a cloud service provider. And they're the ones who would actually send the data. They're the ones who will send the data. But remember, cloud service provider, that's what they do. They do cloud things. They don't deal with, technically they don't really deal with smartphones, although you use a smartphone to access the cloud. They're not really providing security when you go into the cloud. That is a problem, that you can use a smartphone inflicted with malware going into the cloud, and wow, if you're a fox in a chicken coop, wow, you're going to have a field day. There's no security when you access infected data with malware and access in the cloud. You're causing more trouble than it's worth. You're causing lots of trouble. Your smartphone, if it has problems and you're accessing the cloud, there's not enough security in the cloud. You're going to now inflict that cloud with malware and malicious activity. Good luck. Don't do it. How do you know, right? Use an iPhone. They have their own servers for their data. Apple has its own servers for its data. Other device vendors use Android, and then they're using Amazon or Microsoft.
Well, I do have an iPhone. I just have to unlock it because it's locked.
I see. Anyway, we're almost finished here. The key point here is the BoAT consists of a trusted framework for these IoT devices and remote attestation. And this is kind of explaining it, how it works from the IoT end through the server to the data. And I've kind of explained it here. There's also a remote server. And we're using a wireless, a radio access network on the IoT module. Next, this is the last slide, I believe, yeah. Both protection measures. Make sure IoT data is trustable, securely recorded onto the blockchain. And as I mentioned, we do the key partitioning with the TEE, with our BoAT SDK, and we're using Platon's, it's really an attestation blockchain server as a node, and we're providing key partitioning, spreading of the keys, and remote attestation with tokens. Tokens can scramble your data. Tokens can scramble your data. And it's a security apparatus. Using a token is a security. And we can optionally apply a 2 of 2 threshold sign service, signing these keys with key partitioning where the private keys is composed of 2 partitions. Because the complete private key never appears in any form, even if the IoT device were to be cracked, the attacker could not steal any portion of the partition key. Remember we talked about the dual roots, you're partitioning keys. You're making it very difficult for hackers to steal when they can't get to the keys, get to the entire key. They may get to half of it, they can't get to the whole key. Next slide. Okay, summary. Data collection relies on IoT modules and technology. Data is collected, selected, and integrated, and a massive amount of analyzed is analyzed by artificial intelligence, and that's what creates the big data. You analyze the things, you make it into big data. Data is only valuable when it's exchanged through the blockchain. So the blockchain attestates and guarantees through consensus that the data is real. That's why you can trust those coronavirus deaths and who's gotten infected, who's died, and who's been cured, because the Chinese are using the blockchain to send it out to the world. It's a good thing. Data, as I said, is like oil, but that data needs protection. In the open source world, blockchain attestation helps data become real and intended. Key is intended. You don't want fake data. Next. And this is me when I was working and living in China. I actually played softball. That's the Beijing Yaiyuan, that's the Olympic Village. I played softball on two different teams when I was living and working there. My company's called AI Toss in Chinese. It's 模联科技 AI Toss. Thank you. Here's my WeChat if you want to connect with me on WeChat. That's the end of this presentation.